Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope you are all doing well on this auspicious Wednesday. Uh, Thank you for dropping in. We're heading on back. Doful Woeful. Hello. Niello. God, I still love that name, by the way. It's a fantastic name. A very good pivot. I'm into it. Um, but yeah, hope you are all doing well. Thank you for lurking. Lurking, just being here is support in and of itself. I really do appreciate that. You're interested enough to even tune in to lurk. Thank you very much. But yeah, so we're going to be getting back out onto the Z today. This past week, I have spent a whole lot of time playing the sort of sister game to this in Sunless Skies. You can definitely tell it's a game made later, just in terms of like the mechanics and how it works. But I've learned, I think, some very good things about potential efficiency strategies going forward. So I think we'll have a better understanding of what we're doing rather than what we had last week. And by we, I mean. However, our goal, based on the bonus that I figured out in Sunless Skies, is I think our focus is going to be to try to get a new ship if we can. Because that was a major game changer when I suddenly had hold that I could upgrade, enough crew that losing two people didn't completely screw everything up. So in the interim, I think we're going to set sail and see if we can scrounge up enough money to get a decent ship. So, over to the game cam. Begin our journey. Last time we also decided to, on the rats versus guinea pig island, side with the guinea pigs, and I kind of regret that. They were very aggro. Alright. So the journey of Captain Father Pizzaballa, who has inherited their ship from good old Captain Pip, is going to resume. Oh yeah, we haven't done anything with the Captain Father as of yet. So I think just casting out to sea is going to be our best bet. I feel like I'm not getting the game audio. Oh, I know I'm not getting the game audio. I think it's just quiet. Yeah. There we go. Not a lot of audio right now. There's no music playing. It's just sort of the low, quiet drip of a completely interior sea. Oh yes, that's right. This time we had our chief engineer who had strange bugs or eggs behind her eyes, I believe, and wanted to go southeast. The water is sluggish with high fall through. Violet vegetable bulks break the surface. Myceligaya. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Getting very ominous music now. I see an island off to the south, however. However, the island of Polythreme is off to the northeast. We can go check that out after this. See if this is actually anything or just a few strange fungal. Discovered the Utter Shroom. Oh, I'm a big fan of whatever this enormous underground mushroom is. Oh, people live on it, it looks like. Well, I guess I shouldn't say people. I can't be positive that they're human. We came at it from, quite possibly, the farthest way away, and are taking the long way around. You're living in thatch roof cottages on top of a giant mushroom? That rules. But yes, we also have our vile cat, the wretched mom. Picked that up online somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. Oh. Hello. An angler crab, it looks like, of some kind. I think I'll just leave him over there doing whatever he's doing. But let's dock at the Utter Shroom. The queenly core of this spore-haunted sea. Climb the Utter Shroom. Climb the fungal fiber ladders to its summit. Shaggy, suspicious villagers scratch a living here amidst endless clouds of spores and scurrying mobs of plant-animal hybrids. None of them ever leave. Monsters, one explains darkly. Sea full of monsters. Let's search the shroom top. Fibrous huts, spore fogs, that endless damp purple smell. Is there anything else? Buried treasure? You pick idly at a scar on the mushroom rind, and the whole thing peels away. Beneath, in an odd little pocket, lie bundles of ancient moldy cloth, Stygian ivory like the stuff of Kellinate cell. The stuff the Kellinate sell, and something very like a Kellinate harpoon. Did the Kellinites come here once? Are they the ancestors of these sorry villagers? Once per game, something pleasant will happen. I do recall one of the folks who was with us last time mentioned that there was something called Beginner's Luck. So it looks like this time we spent our Beginner's Luck on getting 5 Stygian ivory, an outlandish artifact, and an extraordinary implication. Back to the Utter Shroom. Let's visit the village, I think. Hospitable? Not exactly. But they usually don't chase you off with sticks, and they usually let you sit beside their mildew-smelling fire. The Utter Shroom releases spores according to its own inscrutable schedule. Today the air is soupy thick. They coat your hair, they clog your throat, they gather like the sleep in the corners of your eyes. Conversation with the Shroomers is impossibly hard. You return to the ship where you find a tiny purple mushroom growing already in your ear. We've gained a terror and a tale of terror. Yay. I don't love that. Let's get a port report and get out of this creepy mushroom place after we see if there's anything. They don't have any stores. Yep. Let's get a port report and get on out of here. Yeah, this is how we get The Last of Us. We're gonna bring this back to London. I'm sure it'll be fine. A slow survey. The villagers live a shabby but sufficient life. The Utter Shroom provides. They are secretive, taciturn, incurious. Ships rarely visit. We can trade honey, but we don't actually have any honey, so there's no point to that. Let's head up to the island that our bat found up here. Polythreme. But I'm trying to remember what threme is in an etymological sense. Did I just see a ship over here that evaporated? Oh, the crab's back. Uh-oh. I could have sworn I saw a ship over there. I guess it might have been the crab. Discovered commingle. Did I? Crab got it. Commingle. It's kind of like a tomb colony. We hear the voices that will not be drowned. This is the sea of voices. We are close to Polythreme, where nothing is truly dead. Oh, commingle is the dock for Polythreme, it looks like. Polythreme. Here is screaming. Taciturn clay men. Evasive clothes colonies, walking like humans. Cobbles that groan underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble. But even that writhes like buried bones in an earthquake. Let's gather intelligence from Polythream. The city cries out. Roads roil, bricks quiver. The windows of all the buildings flash like eyes. The palace above the city swells and roars. This convulsion is how clay men are born. Even now, somewhere below, they open their blind-seeming gray eyes. I guess they make golems here. We could carry clay men to London. We'd need 6 cargo spaces. Well, I need to check our cargo. We could take, surely, if Polythream is an expensive place to reduce terror, I don't think we need to do that. An audience of the king with 100 hands, we don't have the tool for that. Our hold. 16 out of 4. Oh, we've got plenty of hold. We could take Claymen back to London if we want. Unfortunately, we don't have, like, any fuel. We're running a little low on fuel, which I'm not great by. Well, I think our best bet then. Let's grab these Claymen. Let's get the let's get them back to London. Let's get paid for that, hopefully. Let's buy some fuel and retake stock of our situation. Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers imaginable, unless, just unless, one turns out to be an unfinished man. They troop aboard. Each one lies down in its appointed position next to the other, nestled snugly head by foot. "We are for London," one explains to you. You now have 6 Claymen marked for London. Shore leave. Our terror is doing fine. We don't need to take some shore leave here, especially if it's an expensive place. We could sell our Stygian ivory here. I don't know if we'd have a better use for it anywhere. I don't know whether or not Stygian is a good price for it. 30 echoes for that. Let's see if we can get a better price for it back in London. Obey, commingle. Doer? Doer. Polythream is creepy. I like it. I want to know what a clothes colony is. Is it I have to assume it's a colony of some kind of organism that makes just a suit of a person and ambles around on its own. Just an empty suit of clothes full of guys, apparently. Okay, we can get back to pig mode. Oh, I don't think we're gonna make it if we don't. We're definitely not gonna make it. Kill. Oh, they're Kamuis. Probably less horny, if I had to bet. But I think I accidentally entered battle mode. That, or I'm about to be attacked by something I can't see. Oh, we are going to definitely get... I don't think... Fellas. Crew. My lads at sea. I don't think Captain Father Pizzaballa is going to be long for this world. I have a very bad feeling about our fuel situation. We may need to, sooner rather than later, pivot into a thing. I don't think the KVs sell fuel, do they? Without fuel, your ship is just an oddly shaped house located somewhere you really don't want to live. Alright, we can burn our supplies. Very little remains to you, but if there's luck, make a sacrifice to storm. Oh, right, we could throw someone into the... This will disappear as soon as you have fuel. If you're in a position to purchase some, don't worry about it. We are not in a position to purchase any. Well, I suppose let's help Kavia resolve a dilemma. Actually, first, let's not waste our time. And burn 2 supplies for sure. Yeah, let's do that. 2 supplies turns into 1 fuel that might be enough for us to make it somewhere else. So. I don't recall whether or not the Salt Lions sold fuel. I'm guessing they didn't. We have entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foe. I don't know whether or not we have a foe. I hope not. The Isle of Crab Cake. We'll see you many more times, I expect. You're trying to hit tab, because that's the map button in Sunless Skies. Sunless Skies does an interesting thing. Yeah, my foe really is gasoline. Our fuel reserves are empty. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh, wait. Well, there's one way that it might be more fine. We can get our own fuel from piracy. Oh, that's my chief engineer. I believe she is a woman with, in fact, bugs behind her eyes. I'll give a quick chat to her after this ship combat in a desperate attempt to get some fuel before we crash. Uh-oh. Yeah, she really wanted to go to the southeast, I believe, so that they could hatch, which, like, great for her. Uh-oh, we're dead in the water. Oh, we are cooked. We are absolutely cooked. Hey, buddy, do you want to help? I see. We can't even reach the supplies from the ship that we just destroyed. Captain Father Pizzaballa. Well, you know what? I think it's time to draw lots for lifeboat places. We got nothing. We don't have a flare. We don't have anyone to sacrifice. We don't have any supplies. There is a tiny chance that we will find our way back to London without either crew or ship, and perhaps it will be better if we don't. An end to it. One by one, your crew abandon themselves to their fate. Your crew quality has gone. Lost with all hands. You and all your crew are gone. London will speculate in vain as to how you met your end. Into darkness, you will be mourned. It's all over for now, but the second captain has been lost to the undersea. Okay, last time we were a salvager. I'm sorry, give me a moment to be right back. I'm getting a call from my vet. Hello. All is well. They're reminding me of a vet appointment at S12. So that's all it was. It's all good. Okay. You know, I think in this case, well, we don't really have a lot of options here. None of these really give us anything significant. We could keep our terrible cat. Or we could keep their map. And those are the only real benefits that we could have. You know what? Let's keep the map. More information is good. No. No. I want my awful cat. I want his awful cat. His awful cat made it back somehow. The wretched Mog. Is Mog a British slang for cat that I'm unaware of? I've never heard of Mog before referred to as a cat. Alright. This time, I have an idea for what to go. I think this time, we are a natural philosopher. Oh, it's just British slang. Okay, cool. Moggy, yes. I've heard Moggy, that's right. I guess, yeah, that makes sense that it would. I just wasn't able to extrapolate it to that. Thank you, that's good to know. That's what they call mixed breed cats. But yes, I think this time, let's be a scholar. A natural philosopher. Let's try to find out a little bit about what's going on. Our peculiar theories on time, blood, and starlight brought you down to beneath the cavern where London lies. Now they take you out to sea. So this makes us stronger in mirrors, which is our understandable, and also the quicker we find a targeting solution for our ship, which is handy. We've gotten a plausible surgeon, which is a very interesting classifier for a surgeon, I think. And I think this time, I'm going to pivot on our ambition. Based on one of the things that one of the other folks were here last time. They said Immortality's the DLC one is a little bit more difficult. Especially since I don't think it's realistic for us to try to potentially pursue all of these, because I think we would be here for the next century at the speed that I'm going. However, getting an ambition and completing it would be, I think, a good goal to just sort of aim for. By their ambitions, I suppose. But let's find our father's bones. I think that's a narratively appropriate aim for us to go for. Our father was lost at sea. You never knew him. You often dreamed of him. Find and return his remains to London for decent burial. Find where he fell and bring him home. When you found your father's bones, you can retire to victory. Explore fallen London to find your first clue. As always, we are captain. Oh, captain, my captain. It will do perfectly well ashore as at sea. I am for our scholarly captain, this madam with a quill. The first name I see in chat will be the name that we give this scholar of fine antiquity before we chat with our plausible surgeon here. Captain Father Pizzaballa's bones. I can't believe it fits. This also means we are now referred to as Captain Father Pizzaballa's bones. Your father's bones. Captain Father Pizzaballa. It fits! Your father, lost at sea so very long ago. The trail was cold. Now you have a lead. Double captain means double success. I might live for 2 hours this time. The Gracious Widow. It is said that she controls half the crime in London. It is said that she is 500 years old. It is said that she can distill spirits that delight the tongue and melt the flesh. It is said that she has paid for a memorial headstone to be set up for your father. What does she know? The night under the earth. The widow receives you in utter darkness, blank as the bandage laid across your eyes. This is usual for the widow. Yes, she says, and her voice is oddly youthful. I have an interest in your father. I had hoped news of the headstone would bring someone looking, and here you are. I have an idea where his bones might be. Perhaps you will help me recover them. But I would like you to cover my expenses first. I need something for my tonics. Scintillac. You can find it in Port Cecil. I understand. You may go. We can bring a unit of Scintillac from Port Cecil for the widow. Port Cecil can be found in the center of the Undersea, near the Connate. We also know that we can get Scintillac if we find the Isle of Pigmote again, because the rats have Scintillac. Got that from the rat. Our father's bones, the next step. So we need a Scintillac and to come back to London. That is our goal. Don't have any port reports because dead, or we're dead. All right, let's do first. Let's try to round out our crew so that we don't run into any issues. I think spending money that we got from book on that is worthwhile. Rich pickings. Your tall tales find a ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. So we can only hold 10 sailors, but we got 3, so neat. And then I want to take a look at the shipyard to see what our goal in terms of money for our next ship to be. Looks as though... we probably want to save till we get the Forsyth-class corvette. This doesn't... The Lampad... Well, the Lampad might be worth it. Either way, we're aiming for 2,000 or 3,000 decos or so to buy a new boat. The expensive ones are well and truly beyond our options here. Okay, shops. Let's buy some supplies. Fuel. I am spending all of our money this time because the last time we're out here, ran out of fuel, we very, very much died. So we have 12 barrels of fuel this time. Stand. Labyrinth of Tigers, we can't do anything about. Ah, a passenger. Oh, right, I was also going to grab the Tomb Colony. Agreed to carry the Gnomic Gallivant to the Cumaean Canal, or the Iron and Misery Funging Station, or both. History is a horse. Who will prick it with their spurs, he cries to no one in particular. A drop of blood may be as precious as a ruby. Sure. I don't think it costs us anything to get him on the boat, and if we end up in those places, we can just drop him off there. Welcome to board. He puffs out his chest. Ruby studs gleam in the lamplight. I knew London had enterprising souls still left in it. I am seeking truths, Captain, which, I'm told, I may find in the Iron and Misery Funging Station and the Cumaean Canal. Ideally, I'd learn both, but I could settle for one. For at Port Cecil there will be a contest, and we will change the world with a game of chess. A king will fall. Okay. I don't know whether or not we'll be helping you, bud, but I do know that a tomb colonist wants to be taken north to Venderbite. Yeah, that's Captain to you, sir. Captain Bones, for short. An emigrant wants to be taken north to Venderbite. It's oddly difficult to die in fallen London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take to ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart these ones aboard on padded coffins and sleep there until the journey is done. Last time, we found out that we were smuggling someone out of that, and I'm curious if that's going to happen again, because I believe there are different things that can be in that coffin. And then, with that, I believe... Oh, no, I need to talk to our plausible surgeon first to see what he wants.
Hello, my dear. Sit down carefully. Just let me tidy away these implements. We don't want any carelessness, do we?
Ask after his desires and ambitions. He's traveled much, seen all manner of wound and malady. But is there anything left for him to discover? Any place he wishes to go?
Kellenate! You know it. They collect corpses.
He shifts in his seat.
Vast, noble, complicated corpses. What I could learn. What I could see. My dearest Captain, if we ever find ourselves in the Kellenate, I do hope you might see fit to release me from our arrangement.
The Kellenate can be found somewhere in the far east of the Untersee. Alright, if we end up there, bud, you can look at all the weird dead bodies you want. Let us cast off. Speaking of weird dead bodies, let's head to the tomb colonies of Venderbite. We got paid fairly well last time we were there, I think. We could make a quick stop off at Hunter's Keep as well. That's always like right here, I feel like. The Three Sisters were. I don't remember if we got anything of significant value from stopping here, but I don't see why we won't. Barely out of our way. We read this last time, I believe, so. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlor where three young women wait. Last time, I believe we had luncheon with Phoebe. So I think this time, let's have luncheon with Cynthia, the eldest, melancholy, pensive, occasionally dramatic. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue. Her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you are sitting on a hillside, a wide blue lake, listening to a story of a murder, an axe, a net, blood on scented water. Another chop? Cynthia asks. You've barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. We are wary of terror. We can reduce this with shore leave, especially in London. We have a tale of terror. We've lost our hunger. And we've gained Salt's attention again. That's what we got last time. We get a free supplies and the attention of a god of the Zee. I don't think that's necessarily great. Let's do a quick reconnoiter of the island to get the port report. It's not worth it much. But the Admiralty will be happy to know that nothing has changed. Back out to the sea. So this is one of the things that I learned from Sunless Skies, is that a lot of the time you'll pop back to these islands on a follow-up venture, and there's nothing really new. You just kind of check in, get your port report, refill up your... Alright, well, we have been attacked by a pirate steam panache. Let's handle that situation first. But what I was saying was, it seems as though there's a lot of checking into places that you've already been, getting a port report, getting supplies or fuel or what have you, and then just bouncing out there. Loot and scuttler. We have opened a cache of curiosities, a bolt of fabric. Spider silk. You can find spider silk in London, of course. There are troubles with sorrow spider infestation like anywhere in the Neath. But for the real quality, You need to go east to the Connaught, to the fang-bristling fastness of Saviour's Rocks. So we just got a free bolt of spider silk. But it'll be a lot of going to ports that we've already been if we are on a repeat captain, because all of the stories reset when we die. And the first time to most places is often very similar to the previous ones. I think this is Venderbite, or close to Venderbite. Oh yeah, our bat found it. It's right to the north. We'll drop off our tomb colonists, see if there's anything else for us to do here. Gained a secret. We could talk to the plausible surgeon. He increases our pages, which is the esoteric knowledge. I would have assumed pages was what. Oop, we're being attacked by bats! A cannon to the bats. Fighting bats with a cannon feels like it would be incredibly difficult. I guess they must be that densely packed. Bags. Our terror is fine. Let's eat these bats. You've brought this decaying element north, now what? An absent friend.
It is everything I imagined,
He tells you breathlessly.
but there's someone missing. Please, bring her to me.
A vague commission.
She went off to Mangrove College. She needed to get out of London. Vanderbite is just as safe as the college, and I'll wager she's bored of mud by now.
Look for the shady sort in the Mangrove College, somewhere in the south of the Untersee. Right. We go find this mysterious person that we know nothing about off to the south. Exploring Venderbite. You round a darkened corner and start down a broad boulevard lined with grimacing statues. There is fluttering movement above. A cloud of frost moths swoops down on you. You beat them off with your walking stick. They are determined. And the largest are the size of Z-bats, but they are fragile. At last they retreat, leaving 3 of their number melting into water on the pavement. Their wings are marked with patterns that resemble letters. You peer at them, but the script is already dissolving. Well, that was our strange exploration of the tomb colony of Vanderbite. Let's grab our port report. Let's pick up the commission of the first curator again as well. He wants 7 colors. So we need to try to find these colors all across the place and come back. You were here last time, I read that. If you're curious about our previous adventures and the text that I'm not reading this time, all of my VODs are up on my YouTube channel. Underneath the page. So, if you're ever interested in seeing or catching up on any of the stuff that you may have missed, I try to be very prompt and punctual about uploading them. Usually they go up the same day. Now, let's head out. Double check at my journal. Looking for our father's bone. Scintillac. That was what we were looking for. I am not sure we're going to be able to duck this crab. A Western angler crab. 150, and our gun only does about 10. No, I think, actually, let's just keep... oh, no. Uh-oh. He can scoop. Are these the salt lions? Docking at the salt lions might save me. You know, I might have been able to take that crab, I just feel like it would have taken a really long time. Well, I mean, it is the size of an entire steamship. Larger, even. Let's visit the Unmakers. Muscular pick-wielders rest on camp stools, watching you approach, passing hip flasks around. An unctuous overseer beckons you to sit. Fungal tissues and tea cakes. Fungal tisane and tea cakes. We get our funding from the bazaar, it's true, but Station 4? I wouldn't call it Station 4. Compile a port report. Nothing else really going on here. Let's jet. Easy. Quick stop. This boat is agonizingly slow. I understand why people start fueling power to the engines. And just potentially watching your boat explode. Oh, a jellyfleur. One of the weird, faced jellyfish. I'll fight that. Especially since it seems to just be sitting there. It can move. Oh. It's anywhere. Yeah, it's anywhere in the red. The light actually, I think it might help get the targeting solution faster, but I can fire from an angle. Scoop it up. Strange catch. We have a weird, vilely faced jellyfish. Wilbert's Abyss. I wonder if we can dive there if we get a submarine. In the train version of this, the bat that you have eats your supplies when it throw them out. Don't think he does here. Oh, I can use this strange catch to chum the waters. And lure a submerged Z-beast to the surface. I'm not sure I would want to do that, but it appears to be an option that I have. Oh, I see a dock over there. Oh, that's one of the light ships. Yeah. Up on over there. I can't... I'm losing a ton of hull to this jellyfish. Oh boy, I'm the worst captain you've ever seen. Ay. 24 damage to this jellyfish. From above, the jellyfleur's cap does look a little like a woman's face. She dissolves like smeared paint. can. We already are running out of fuel again because I have not found like a single place to get more. I don't have any recent news. Oh, I forgot to read the newspaper before I left. I've traded probably for supplies. And I don't have any money because I spent it all on fuel before I left. Excellent. 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 Things are going rough. One of the ideas I've been tooling around with is potentially pivoting to Mask of the Rose if this is a game that is too slow for stream. And see why one of the folks that was here said that often they see streamers abandoning it. And I think I can see why, having spent a little bit more time with it at this point. Are you must be hostile, I guess. Okay, please don't. Oh dear. It fired a... Oh, the flare prevents me from targeting. Oh, is their navigator drunk? They're wavering all over the place. Nuncio! Nuncio, save me! Their gun doesn't do much damage. Yeah, let's just leave. Let's leave. Let's leave. But I suspect Mask of the Rose might have less dead air, but still give us more of this delightful universe that I'm currently in. We'll see. No pun intended. Nuncio, do not return, sender. Taciturn functionaries walk the docks, in the uniforms of postmen. An enormous crowned statue casts a chilling shadow. The shadows gleam with a rat's eyes. Their ceaseless chittering rolls like the tide. Go to the postman's tavern. The Inky Blotter, it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Warmer inside than it looks. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. Lit by two roaring fires, one at either end of the room, the bartender is in a postman's uniform, like almost all of the patrons. A noseless postal inspector called Blunt Thomas delivers the drinks, clears tables, and stacks the firewood. Let's listen in to Postal Tall Tales. Fishermen brag about fish that got away. Postmen brag about hard deliveries. Amazing what you get for a penny stamp. Delicate bottles lowered down chimneys on rope. Do not fold under any circumstance, letters curled through a narrow slot. Rattling, groaning crates brought back to the same address every day for 22 days running. The windows they pried open, the servants they bribed, the delivery surcharges they paid out of their own salaries just to get rid of one more packet. It's hard to tell what they hate more, the senders of mail or the recipients. Stands to reason, if the message was a welcome one, they'd tell the other fellow in person, reflects the hairless postwoman. Ask why the local currency consists of rats. 2 strings of rats for a pint of ale, 3 strings for wine, 5 for the tolerable brandy under the bar. Scarcity is not an issue. The hairless postwoman is at the end of the bar, smiles mirthlessly. Or maybe it's just the lack of eyebrows that does it. Long enough carrying the things around, you get in the habit, she says. Then she tells you that if you stay out late enough, you'll see some of the postmen making a procession to the center of the island, stringing up rats around the statue like Yuletide decorations in prayer to an ancient deity of this place. From the coughing and choking elsewhere in the pub, you'd guess this is a story they often tell to newcomers. They're cultivating friendships with postmen here. Let's ask why the hairless postwoman is hairless. Legacy of some interestingly explosive package, maybe? Bopa. No, he says. Curt, not pleased you asked.
Still had eyebrows when I came to Nuncio.
The postman at the next bench diverts you, speaks in a low voice.
Lots of people find habits when they can't deliver the post anymore. This one has a plucking habit. Best learn not to notice.
You glance up. The hairless postwoman is still glaring at you. We've, set them. Can't just ask people why they're hairless, I suppose. But let's ask about that big statue in the center of the island. If there were a guidebook for visitors, it would have to be the first entry. The Monumental Postman. Oh, that? It's all of us, isn't it? Sort of the spirit of the island. Most of them don't seem troubled for more of an explanation than that, though the hairless postwoman tells you it didn't always look like a fallen London postman at all, that it used to have a different face and a more old-fashioned outfit. Ask how they occupy themselves all day. There must be more than this. The Dead Letter Office. Big building in the center of town. Hard to miss. You can work there, too, if you want. It's not clear whether this is a generous offer or a threat. Let's go back to the docks. Let's try a shift at the Dead Letter Office. There is a sign of a canceled stamp over the door. An extensive tour. Blunt Thomas takes you around the office, a small collection room where those retrieving letters may state their business. A much larger set of back offices, where newly arrived letters and parcels are collected and sorted. A dank, briny smell that never goes away, presumably because so many of the parcels spent time in the water before they arrived. In the back room is a machine manned, ratted? By a postal rat, a Rattus Faber in a pinstriped hat. It shovels sludge-damp letters into the machine's hopper, and they come out dried, cleaned, pressed, and sorted into slots by size and quality of paper. Is Blunt Thomas related to Blunt Scuncher? I have to assume that they are cousins separated at birth. One went to Baldur's Gate universe, one went to Beneath. Shift work in the Dead Letter Office. One has various possible occupations here. None could be described as fast-paced. Let's chat with the postal rat first. How did he get into this line of work? Cultish. The postal rat has a pair of spectacles on and is re-lettering the front of a water-damaged envelope, working over the original letters with a tiny brush and an ink pot. The repairs are likely to take most of the afternoon.
I like to think of myself as being in the resurrection business,
he says, stopping to look at you seriously for a minute.
Where circumstances permit, taking the dead letters and making them alive again. Doesn't often work, but when it does, a miracle.
Let's man the collections window. A better chance of meeting people. Slightly better. Also, given that our page's quality does not make understanding what's going on in the back room look particularly easy. Talk, tick. You note down new parcels in a logbook. You study postal regulations from a manual. You explore all the possible postures for sitting on the postman's stool. It is only at the end of the day that a dignified lady arrives. She wears mauve gloves. She wishes to collect a letter on which she refused delivery 22 years ago. She has difficulty meeting your eye. But the letter is here filed in its proper slot. Firm and masculine handwriting, signs of limited education, inexpensive paper, no water damage. She does not read it in front of you. She tucks it in a bag and goes out. That's all for now, and we have an intriguing snippet. I'm going to ask the postal rat for a key to the basement. I've worked here long enough, I've done one shift, and I might need a key to the basement now. No trouble at all. He's surprised by the request. Most postmen don't like it down there. No one ever asks for a key, but he'll cut you a new one. Just be careful in there, and come out if you start to feel wrong. And we've been authorized for backroom access. Hell yeah. Opening the back rooms, the key is warm in your pocket. Deep and deeper. You had expected a few shelves of supplies, more files of letters a few years older. No, it is a pit, so deep that lantern light does not show the bottom. A spiral walkway descends along its well, and that spiral opens wider as it goes, as if you were looking through the narrow end of a very large shell. Lining this wall are shelves and nooks unevenly sized. Some are a few inches square and contain single scrolls of papyrus. Others support crates bigger than coffins. They're made of a woody fungus grown to meet requirements. There are no marks of carpentry or of any of the postal rat's handiwork. 3 turns down the spiral and you feel you can't breathe. Time to leave. You can come back later. Maybe. An explorer of the lower basement. Let's tell the postal rat about what we saw down there. Gives us something new to chat about. Troubled, but not surprised.
They say that's been there since before we came. Before there were Londoners underneath. Before there was a dead letter office, there was something else. They built the last layer on top of what was there before, and so on.
When you press him a little further, he says,
I've been down there. Didn't like it much, but I wanted to test my machine. Though it could handle some of the very old dead letters, that would be a good sign. Thought if it could handle some of the very old dead letters, that would be a good sign, you know? Evidence the machine was in working order. Good, strong sorting categories and so forth.
He pauses.
There's letters down there that set your hair on fire if you so much as look at them. See the bald patch on my right leg? On my left leg? That wasn't a machine accident, oh no. That singed right off as soon as I put my nose in one of them letters.
Into Tale of Terror and an extraordinary implication. We could descend into the basement with some mirrors to divert light and illuminate what has been dark a long time. Converse with the postal rat. Why doesn't it make a machine like this one back in London? Might lead to fewer dead letters in the first place. Regulations.
Oh, no. That wouldn't be permitted at all. There are strict rules about the initial handling and sorting of posts. An experimental machine might mangle the letters. It's only the dead material that is unimportant enough to be entrusted to a Ratus Faber.
His voice isn't bitter, but he twists a coil so hard that it springs sideways out of the machine and pings off your shoe. Well, this seems like a terrible idea that we have a very low chance of succeeding with, but I'm going to try it anyway. Descending into the basement with mirrors. We have a 30% chance of success. We have failed. It is too dim. Your contraption of fires and mirrors is clever, but insufficient. By the 12th spiral, you are walking in darkness, and there is no knowing what might be waiting for you below. And yeah, with that, I think let's just let's bounce here. Let's assemble a port report, and then let's bounce. Cataloging all the excuse me, really tripping over my tongue today. Uniform behavior. Cataloging all the peculiarities of the place takes many pages. The tailor who imports gilt buttons and braid just to be able to keep everyone's uniform in condition. The fashion of wearing a post bag with nothing inside. Wearing it open, wearing it upside down, torn apart, or as a hat. Wearing it in any way that will show it doesn't have letters in it. Then there are the sitting rooms, papered in cancelled stamps. The bergamot pomegranate curd on toast. The commerce in rat corpses, the hatred of cats, the absolute custom against ever issuing a paper invitation for any event, no matter how formal. It's the familiarity, the not quite Londonness of the place that makes it all so odd. Oh man. I don't have any fuel. They won't buy anything from me. Can I do another shift at the dead letter office? The bell chimes above the door. The fellow manning collections looks awake for half a second when you come in until he realizes you're here to relieve him. No, I could only drive myself more insane by failing that check again. So I guess our best bet is back onto the water. Eric's scalpel to... Well... Let's head southish. We want to kind of head towards the middle, I think they suggested. Oh, hey, the Finknottle Vortex. You can swim directly into a whirlpool if I wanted to. Based on how the fuel situation is going, might be the again, situation for Captain Father Pizzaballa's bones. I truly am not sure how you're supposed to manage fuel with how difficult it is to come across in the early game. Am I just supposed to churn through a few captains and hope that I'm leaving an inheritance for them? Truly love everything about this universe. I just may not be good enough at this. That's fine. Oh, yeah, it's Nup Mid Harbor. Nup Mid. Short trips, maybe. But if I take short trips, I don't get paid much. I feel like we did that with Pip at the beginning. Oh, I love this frog. That's a nightmare. Well, if I can get echoes here in any way, I might be able to buy some fuel. So, let's take a look. The prison walls are mercilessly steep. Nupmid built this place as a prison for the Khanate. Now it answers only to its governor, and its governor answers to no one. We'll compile a port report. Not so many goings. Ships from the Khanate are most common. But you see Kellanite vessels, polythreme triremes with chained and sulky unfinished men, corsairs disposing of their miscreants, and even one furtive Iremi skiff. The wardens pay well for their prisoners. I could rescue someone. You'll only get one chance of this, and it's unlikely to be profitable unless you have someone in mind. Nothing I can get here. But-up. Boy, oh boy. Oh wait, there's another port right to our northwest. Desperately trying to find a place where he died. Is it this? Could have docked at this. Oh. Well, our fuel reserves are empty. That's fantastic. I was able to find one out of one. Well, actually seemed like a place where I can dock. Maybe that's what the burning blue, a hiss of horror from the lookout. The glim lamp at the front of the ship is sputtering and arcing, fizzing with blue light. Even as you watch, the blue fades, but not a good omen. Alright. I'll attempt to calm it. There's a perfectly natural explanation for why our lamp did that thing. Light meets dark. The darkness underneath is more than the absence of light. It is a physical presence which distorts the shape of the world. Your light melts the darkness, restores sanity to the world. You explain something of this to your sailors. Not the first time they've heard it, but they seem slightly less nervous. I'm guessing if I screwed that up, my terror would have rocketed up. Okay, this looks like it could be a port of some kind. Khan's Glory. The Salt Steps. This is the domain of the new Khanate, whose ancestors came here before London fell. Okay, there's an actual dock down here. Wait, I think that's a dock too. Oh, I think I remember this from, if there are green lights on it, you can go underneath it. Yeah, it's a bridge. Alright, our fuel reserves are empty. That's great. Alright. Khan's Glory, a place of stately isolation. Here are the palaces of the Khan and his court, each a fortress to itself. Sleek lords and ladies in belted robes, breakfast on balconies. An unlikely antelope peeks at you from a park. Guns rotate easily on motorized gimbals. A bunch of things that I can't do anything about. Take a meeting concerning a matter of no importance. A servant of the Timon is missing. His loss is a danger. There is a place one doesn't speak of. Officially, a former servant of the Timon, who did not engage in the gathering of strategic information, did not disappear to the Untersee port of Anth, which officially does not exist. At length you hear what this servant did not look like, and strict prohibitions against pursuing him. Officially, no one in Khan's Glory would have any interest or be at all inclined to reward you with money and connections if you were to go to Anth. They would not care for a report of his situation, or any information that he may be unable to bring home. I'm getting mixed messages here. Cruise past the clan palace. The store is at this port. Yeah, let's try it. A warning shot. Sculpted curves of stone and silver, coral sketch, a triple salvo from a gun emplacement scars your bow. Turn back to the sanctioned harbor quickly. Oops. Okay. I suppose let's not deal with that. Okay. Khan's Gate, the Khan's Heart. I think they like the Khan here. Okay, there's another dock. Starting to get desperate. Oh, come on. Okay, I was able to just coast in there. Barely. We are fully out of fuel. We cannot take... Okay, and there's no store here. Oh, I'm done. Seek a commercial license. Khan's Heart. London's rival. An oasis of light in the salt black wastes. Canals thread the painted city, street lamps glow, and water taxis putter. Seek a commercial license. The Kaganians dislike merchants, and they dislike foreigners. Foreign merchants induce paroxysms of antipathy. Perhaps sufficient bribes will buy your way into the Nephrite Quarter. Not here, surfacer. Surfacer? The Kaganians have been generations underground, and them all Londoners are surfacers. It seems you'll need to go to Khan's Glory, the nearby palaces of the nobility, to seek a license. Can't really do anything here. Apparently I can establish an intelligence network in Khan's Heart, which is fascinating to me. The Khanate generally assumes that all foreigners are spies, or worse. It would be a shame to disappoint them, but it might be dangerous to prove them right. Let's gather a port report. Failed. Eyes everywhere. Your listeners meet your questions with courteous, frightened silence. The back of your neck prickles. Don't turn around. Well, I don't know what we can do here, actually, if anything at all. I guess I can try to burn some supplies. Nope. No, we can't. We're done. Let's make a sacrifice to Salt. It's our only option left at the moment. Salt, the god of horizons and farewells. Who knows what he'll do? Whisper a secret into the dark and see. A white Z-bat. It lands on the rail and cocks its head. It blinks at you, two tiny eyes like chips of crystal. It rises and is lost in the deep night of the earth. Your gaze follows it. When your gaze returns to the ship, you realize that the ship is elsewhere. Gasps from your crew tell you're not imagining it. Perhaps it's not where you wanted to go, or be, but that's salt for you. Where the hell am I? We're at King Eater's castle. Oh! Making it back to London just got a whole lot more complicated. I don't think I could be further from London. I feel like you guys are bad crew members. Myth and Scoop. You're my first mate Grima Wormtongues, whispering curses into my ear. See, Myth, here's the thing. I don't have any fuel. I can't start the boat. I can't go east. I can't go anywhere. However, I suppose there's no point in not exploring King Eater's castle. An old veracity lives here, in the far reaches of the Z. The priests are long gone, but sacrifices are still made. Perhaps you have come here to make a sacrifice. The sixth witness. A woman in rags stands on the battlements, staring to the east. Sure. Startled by your approach. I am sorry. I didn't expect anyone else to be here. Sit with me. No, do not look east. I only dare because I know I will see nothing like the five before me. It is my first time at Z. We do not get out much, but you must have traveled far to end up here. Tell me your stories. You barely begin before she interrupts. How about the Gant pole? They say there they see the future. If you go, could you ask what the seventh will witness? I happily give my life to prepare the ground, but to know would be the greatest of honors. Lady, if we can make it there, I will ask any question possible, but I'm pretty sure we are dead. Eat your crew. Do not do this. This will destroy all of your crew, and any human or near-human officers. The struggle will wound or even kill you. I need iron 150. I have 27. Well, compile a report. First of all, everything is horrible. It's not really an appropriate title for a formal report, is it? Let's find something a little more clinical. Let's offer all of our stories. It's the only option we have left. What is one more departure among so many? This may take you elsewhere at the cost of all of your Z stories. Choose it only if you are desperate to be somewhere else. I'm desperate. The rising of the lights. With a grating shriek, the walls of blackened stone rise around you. Already they blot out the false star's light. No, the water is receding. Phosphorescent cliff clingers gawp as the Z sinks. Monster bones rise from the murk. The ship tilts violently sideways, and with a sound like a reef's jaw closing. The Z! The Z! It rises, black-fisted, and falls on you with all its weight. You cling desperately to the helm. The waters drain away. Sailors lie coughing or flopping like fish. Z-weed drapes along the railings. Around the ship, the lights of Wolfstack docks. You were fortunate. You have no more Z stories. You've lost 5 hull, 3 crew. But we're back in London. With no money, no fuel, no anything. Little gift. A very fine evening to you, Captain. My, what you might call, mentor is very fond of adventurous Z captains, and he would like to offer you what you might call a dispensation, on account of he is so fond of Z captains. Behind the blind bruiser on the dock stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. I could accept the dispensation, inquire further, or refuse. I'll inquire further. I'll look a gift horse in the mouth. An airy wave. He runs a very fine and very liberal establishment just across the river, what is much patronized by sailors and men of wit and vinegar. A public house, and there's no obligation to speak of. My patron would hope only that you might remember him kindly, and I suppose that if the opportunity should arise for you to return his kindness, then I do not imagine he would refuse your offer. I can't believe we're back in London and alive. Sure, I'll take the mysterious. I'm not in the position to refuse. I'll take your mysterious supplies. 10 fuel, 5 supplies, a proposal, and suspicion. A courteous nod. Well, my patron hopes that you will find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call on him at the Medusa's Head. Should that day come, we will make you very welcome and give you a safe conduct, what you might require. Good evening to you. He salutes and is gone. I see. Well, we've got some new news. Can we go to the... What's it called? Wolf or Medusa's Head? Look like it. Could visit the university. Seems worth potentially taking a look at. The university has an inexhaustible appetite for secrets, Z specimens, and other tidbits of esoteric lore. Provide a secret to prove yourself worthy of entry. Quite impressed. Oh, yes! The university maritime liaison whispers breathily. Oh, yes. This is a tasty one. Let me explain it to you. He explains with teeth glinting. Right, I definitely spoke to this person before because they are how we found out some information about the weird box that we have. A strange catch pickled into quiescence. The scholar circles your specimen jar, tapping at the glass with a variety of tools. Screwdriver, magnet, scrutinizer, tuning fork, flensing knife, and a sort of slotted spoon. This will keep them going for weeks, he says, half to himself. We'll dine at the high table tonight. Flavor's antiquarian increasing. We got $10, which won't even buy one thing of fuel, I believe. However, well, we can trade a lot of things to the scholar. Let's try that. Offer the scholar an extraordinary implication. Okay. No, this changes things. This is good. The scent of secrets. I will place it with the others. One day I will have enough. 250 echoes for that extraordinary implication. Perfect. I'll also offer an intriguing snippet. Ooh, zesty. This one will do very well shared. Thank you. Your payment? 50 echoes for that. Okay. That's a delight. What a turnaround. What an incredible turn of events in our favor. You love to see it. Our current captain, so Captain Father Pizzaballa, ran out of fuel in the ocean. They drew lots and he died at sea, never making it back to London. He was inherited by, thanks to Scoop L's wonderful naming conventions, Captain Father Pizzaballa's bones. So our new captain is a scholar named Captain Father Pizzaballa's bones. And that's the situation we find ourselves in. You know, I'll sell this bolt of spider silk for $50 as well. We have pivoted our ambition to finding our father's bones. It's really fitting, because it's our father's bones. Our father, the father. The word father by the end of this is going to have no meaning whatsoever. Captain and father have already both lost quite a bit of meaning to me. Father, father, bones. Okay. We can buy a new gun. That might be helpful. Oh, what is the difference between a deck weapon and a forward weapon? Do not call me Bone Daddy. Please. Oh, right. We also have port reports. And you sell those, too. Hunter's Keep we've done. It's worth almost nothing. Oop. Clicking the wrong buttons. Vendor Bite. Nunkyo, the postal place. Please, Bone Daddy was my father. Wisdom. Fort. The Salt Lions. And King Eater's Castle. Man, King Eater's Castle, for being on the other side of the Untersee in a complete and different thing, was worth 20 echoes. That's it. Okay. Right, the Dark Spectacle Admiral wants me to go to Port Cecil, somewhere in the northeast of London. It does seem strange that it's worth so little. I wonder if it is because there's nothing there? Can I trade... Admiralty's favor to repair my hull? Yes. It still costs 25 echoes on top of it. That's fine. Our boat was falling apart. Yeah, I'm guessing it's either because it's easier to get to depending on, like, where it decides to spawn, or because there's just nothing going on there. Okay. I have room for one deck weapon, one auxiliary. I don't have a slot for a forward weapon. I have a slot for a bridge, and I have a slot for an engine. Okay, so I could get a deck weapon. Being able to actually kill things at sea might give us a real edge. Actually doing a proper murder. How did I get so lost in the menus? Here we go. Okay. Yeah. Question is, what do we get? So our normal, it does 8 hull damage, 8 life damage. Got 4 warm-up time. We can't equip a forward weapon. We need a deck weapon. Forward, aft, forward, forward, deck. Is that the only option we have? The Cotterell Hathersage Reproach. Like it with the crummy ship we have. The denunciation. $300 echoes to make the damage I do half and over better again. That's probably worth it. Oh wait, no, it's only 200. Yep. Let's give it a try. New gun! Looks the same as the old gun. And we'll sell the old gun for $10. I like that I could sell my engine, but leaving myself fully without an engine, which seems ill-advised. Yeah, $10 for the old shitty weapon, which is just taking up space in my hold. We have 16 fuel. Make it an even 20. Okay. This is looking all right, all things considered. I'm baffled that we made it back. Irene is where we will learn about the weird box that we have. Okay. Let's take a look at our map. What a journey we've been on. What a bad journey we've been on. All right. Let's take a quick stop at Hunter's Keep and see if we can chat with another one of the sisters. I would love to get a better engine. But we've done this. Guys, we're still in the dock before they've already started freaking out. Right, yeah, this is just the exact same event we had earlier. I do kind of wish the music... I get what they're going for and why they don't do it, but I do kind of wish the music was a little bit more... prevalent, because there's a lot of stretches where it's just silent. But I think that's part of probably the atmosphere they're trying to cultivate. Hunter's Keep. Not receiving visitors? The parlor is empty. Where are the sisters? The maid makes it clear through a series of unwelcoming growls that they are indisposed. I'm guessing it's probably just been too recently since I've been there. Well, let's try giving them some news. I do really love the music as well. It's really atmospheric. It's really chill. I want to get, or I need to check after this and see whether or not the soundtrack is on Spotify or anything like that, because I feel like it would be great music to just have on in the background while you're working on some other stuff, you know? Even when the sisters aren't feeling sociable, they can be tempted out of their lair by the smell of new stories. Knock and wait. You ask the sulfur-eyed maid to carry a few hints of your news to the sisters. Oddly enough, she comes back with a message that their headaches are cured and that you're invited to lunch. Hell yeah. All right, last time we had lunch with Cynthia, so this time, let's have luncheon with Lucy, the middle sister. Ominous beats to chill and study to. Exactly. Exactly, Scoop. Ominous beasts. A daft tale. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. And now we have Stone's attention. It's salt. So each of them is, I think, associated with a different god. Of the Z, one has to assume Saltstone and whatever the third one is. Storm? I feel like we'd heard the name Storm before. Saltstone and Storm. They're very real. I've determined by the fact that one of them kidnapped my boat and took me on a merry journey after I made a sacrifice of secrets to it. Okie dokie. I think Myth was probably right, and we should head a little bit more south to some of the darker areas that we have not yet explored. Saltstone and Storm. Oh, I did a little bit of research. Oh, okay, here we go. It's time to test out our new gun. I did a little bit of research and found out some interesting things about why going north was such apparently an incredibly bad idea, and why it killed Pip, pretty much, by horribly ruining his entire life, and I will elaborate on that a little bit. Let's... I fight this crab. I should not be fighting this crab. I need to leave. This boat is not for fighting. Oh, the Iron and Misery Funging Station. We had some stuff that needed to happen here. So, Fallen London has apparently a very infamous storyline about obsession and self-destruction, called Seeking Mr. Eaton's Name. And this story of self-destruction and, like, you know, eradication of the self is... It permanently renders your account in Fallen London, like, unusable. It perma locks your account by following it. And the only reason you would do it is to do it. There's no benefit to it. There's no reward for it other than the story that happens. But basically, it's just this huge story of betrayal, and there's a horrific nightmare, and it all culminates in the north, where, from what I understood, reality focuses to a specific point, and everything compresses itself into only one available path that you can take that leads to what I have to presume is Mr. Eaton, who is one of the masters of the bazaar that got betrayed and thrown into the bottom of a well. There's a whole lot more to the story, and it's very weird and vague, and it's also really hard to actually, like, get information about, because people are, you know, cagey with it and things like that. And Fallen London specifically has asked the people who... Yeah, the North is a metaphysical black hole with a dead god in it, basically, in a manner of speaking. Or dead super entity, or, like, a quasi-dead god. What was I saying? Yeah, so Fallen London and Failbetter have specifically asked people, like, if you make it past the gate to finish the Mr. Eaton storyline, don't post it. Everything beyond, like, we are fine with people talking about and exploring everything up to the gate, but anything beyond the gate, please don't share. And apparently, no one has violated that yet who has crossed the gate, which I find very interesting. That it hasn't leaked at all. But yeah, I can't say I'm not tempted, but at the same time, it's like months of work in order to do. Yeah, I want to do it now too. Like I made an alt account in order to potentially do it, but it's one of those things where I'm gonna chip at it bit by bit, here and there. But it is a lot, and it is apparently a buck wild story. I know it involves you collecting, and I'm going to spoil a couple of things about this. I've already spoiled some of it, certainly, I'm sure, but I don't understand it well enough to really properly spoil it, I feel. But spoilers for the Seeking Mr. Eaton's name. You are finding candles named after a lot of the Arthurian knights and things like that. And one of the last candles you get is Sir Gawain's candle. And it involves, I believe, cutting off your own head, as Gawain is kind of known for. But either way, it's a very fascinating story. If you're interested in sort of like this weird nihilistic thing, Myth, I can send you something after this. There's like a whole Google Doc of somebody who like documented their journey. And it's a fascinating read. I haven't finished it yet, but I can shoot it to you after this if you're interested. But it's a really, really, really interesting story, I think. And going north is incredibly bad. And that's why, when we went north, it killed half of our crew, destroyed our boat, and gave us nightmares forever. So. But Pip's long dead. And no one else has gone north and probably won't, because there doesn't seem to be a huge bonus to it. You just suffer. We've done it once. It is in my VODs, if you have interest in seeing it. But this is the first time, I believe, that we have been to Demo Island, a fervid forest of fungus, and the Iron and Misery. So I guess it must be Funging Station? Because it's about mushrooms, instead of, like, fungibility? Unless they come from the same root. I don't know. I&M has a funger operation here, felling giant bolagous shrooms for building materials, harvesting Kirali for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable Factor.
Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We'd go quite mad out here otherwise.
Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? I will stand in the right place at the right time for the Gnomic Gallivant. I don't like comedians. I'm a very serious man. But we agree on one thing. Timing. And that's why I'm breaking into the Factor's home and why I need you to distract him until I found a special itinerary. A pleasant distraction. It just so happens that you bump into the Factor on his way home. What a happy coincidence. You couldn't possibly manage this entire picnic basket by yourself. Overjoyed to have company, he joins you on a bench for the next hour, merrily eating sandwiches. You take your leave once you have seen the Gallivant pass by. Back on your deck, the Gallivant laughs jovially. His rubies wink in the light. Iron and Misery will be sending a representative to the contest in Port Cecil. There's a full itinerary of all the events, tailored for every attendee. I have the dictator's moves mapped. Maybe Fallen London has a never-ending social debate between people who say funging with a hard or soft G. Heard the guy who started the trade uses a soft G, and he's wrong. The Iron and Misery non-fungible station. That's where we can buy a Bored Ape yacht to sail the Untersee. I think let's take tea with the Factor. The poor fellow needs the company, and he can spare an hour away from his schedule. An interlude. You sit on the veranda of the factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle. An expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The scones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the ice and roses of Ireme, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, and a little restaurant in Venderbite where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood.
Vanderbite! I know! I'd never met a tomb colonist who could cook, but you must visit the place. Do you know it?
He has a load of Bulligus frond carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks.
I have eaten so much of the stuff that I fear I might be transformed entirely into fungus.
He leans confidentially towards you.
It happens, you know. But one does not have to eat, but one does have to eat rather a lot of it first.
Cool. I've been told of an exceptionally fine restaurant in Venderbite, so the next time we're in Venderbite, we should check that out. We'll compile a port report. The business of spores, I&M's activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, you record what you can. And I think let's try and gather supplies. Some of the island's fungus is good to eat. Some of it is poisonous, hallucinogenic, or mischievous. Good luck. Surreal lives here. Yeah, Surreal lives on this island for sure. Ooh, you were unlucky. A fug of dread. One of the spores lie thick on your face. They coat your tongues. One crewman begins to whisper.
"Oh, Christ," he says. "They've reached my heart. I think I'll be Harvest yet. Harvest yet!"
You have to drag him back to the ship before he's calm again. Okay, let's not, maybe, actually, instead. But we will top off our fuel stores, I think, before we leave. Well, we have the money. Oh, where did that guy that we need also want to go? The Kumayan Canal. That's, I believe, we've been to that in the past. That's, I believe, south of, London. So I think that's the thing that lets us, that lets us go to the surface, presumably if we are someone who can go to the surface. I don't believe we are. But. Oh, I'm very aware of crab. I am extremely aware of crab. Mutton Island is somewhere to the west. We went there last time. There wasn't, like, anything there, but we got some easy food. Little crab. Now this crab I can take. I'll bully a small crab. Come here, you little prick. Oh, delicious. Dissected for knowledge! The crab full of conundrums. You set to work with your knives and acid. It is an undistinguished adolescent specimen, a megalops, of one of the deep Z crab species, but its eyes, normally vestigial in these troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful. The golden glow is almost gone now, though sparks leap now and then to your knife. Carve that crab. For science. I do find it interesting that the scholars started with high observation, but not high pages, which are the ones of knowledge. Quaker's Haven. Let's take drinks at the Cock and Magpie. The trees of the Neath are scraggly and wretched, scraping a living with parasynthesis. But the apples of Mutton Island are tart and powerful, perfect for cider. Cider? Cider! This stuff is stronger than it looks. You stretch out in your seat, stare through the leaded window at your safely moored ship, and
and find yourself whistling. The landlord gives you a friendly grin and goes back to whetting his cleaver. Chat to the fishermen. They sail the Z around the island. They mend their nets at the harbor. You'll need coins to open their mouth. Oh, right, this is what gives us a port report. Let's visit the hilltop above town and see what we can see. Toasting the wind. You stand on a cliff top, looking over the little village. Smoke from the chimney of the Cock and Magpie drifts straight upwards. As you watch, the smoke tilts. The sudden wind thins it to a pencil smudge, then nothing. The wind screams unexpectedly like a god cut in half. What a noise. It must be the caves around the island channeling the air. At least, that's the most comforting explanation. Below you, the locals each take nips from a shared flask before they make a toast toward the mainland. The wind is southerly. That's all for now. Buy fuel from a dockside stall. And I think that's all we can really do. I think we can get one more port out of this session. Heading to the south. Yeah, apparently all of the fuel was down here. Sailing north was just fuelless. Now our problem is dealing with the fact that we haven't really found a very satisfying way to lower our terror quite yet. Another crab. I'm hungry. I think this is the Kumayan Canal, which is... Oh, right, we can't store it. A rock breaks the water like a surfacing Z-beast. No, it's a Z-beast! No, it's a rock. Let's hit the Kumayan Canal, finish the scouting situation for that guy we picked up. Giannotti Papa. The Gnomic Gallivant. A riddle. There are 10 individuals in a room, one of whom is an ancient tyrant. How can you distinguish him? Answer, burglarize a private library for a picture of him beforehand. Knowing the enemy. As dinner bells sound throughout the port, you carry a ladder to one of the long-moored, half-legal ship hostels. You prop the ladder to the porthole of what the Gallivant assures you is the cabin of a French diplomat. He ascends swiftly, leaving you to carry the ladder away. Half an hour later, the Gallivant is back on your deck. He polishes his ruby cuffs. I have seen the face of eternity printed in ink. It was a terrible face. And now we are ready to visit the chess tournament in Port Cecil. Let's gather information for a port. Let's listen for surface gossip. Sorry, end. The card game ends badly when one of the surface sailors knifes another for all the usual reasons. The other players scrabble for the coins that spill from her pockets, but you snatch up a scrap of paper they overlook. Curious markings, dates, times, code name, spy's work. This is something we got last time as well. But I think now that we have that, we'll aim for Port Cecil next time. And I think to end it there. There is no stream tomorrow. I have a lot of things
to get done that day, and I simply do not have the time, I'm afraid, such as taking my cat to the vet, and I have a doctor's appointment. So, there will be no stream tomorrow. However, I do have Memorial Day off, so it's possible I might do a stream on Monday. I may try out Mask of the Rose for a change of pace. See how that feels. It'll be a lot more of me just reading things. So, yeah, and thank you all again for coming. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will see you all next time. Have a good rest of your evening. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you want to help support me in making more of this, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream these live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I suspect you all know how this works by now, but it really does help a lot. Thanks.